Welcome, dear students. Today we will be discussing our free of cost mock test that was held on 26th of January 2025. I mean the past Sunday. हमारे जितने भी मॉक टेस्ट होते हैं वो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट होते हैं, वीकली होते हैं, आपके साथ सिलेबस शेयर किया जाता है और हम लोग फिर उसके डिस्कशन करते हैं। तो पहले पहले एमसीक्यू जो आपके पास आया था दैट वाज एवरीथिंग इज ट्रू अबाउट सिलोम एक्सेप्ट। तो मैं आपको एक बात बताता चलूँ कि सिलोम की आपके पास डेफिनेशन क्या है। तो बेसिकली सिलोम इज अ फ्लूइड फिल्ड स्पेस दैट इज लाइंड विद mesoderm. It is present inside body cavities. It lines body cavities basically in certain phyla of kingdom Animalia. So it is found in body wall and gut. Yes. Definition suggests it is fluid filled. Yes. Definition suggests it is lined with mesoderm. Yes. So the last option is not true regarding the genome as the question inquires about. It is not bound internally by a cuticle. It is bound by mesoderm. So this will be our right option, that is delta. Let's move on to our next MCQ, that is which substance controls rate of reaction in methods of large excess. So large excess is basically a reaction in which you have one reactant in excess. Certain reactions such as hydration reaction in which H2O is involved. Now water is a thing that you may take in excess. So excess reactant is basically not involved in controlling the rate of reaction. अगर आपके पास दो सब्सटेंसेस हैं जो कि आपस में रिएक्ट करके एक सर्टेन प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं और प्रोडक्ट बनाने के लिए आपके पास दो रिएक्टेंट इस्तेमाल होते हैं और एक रिएक्टेंट आपके पास एक्सेस में है, सच एज सर्टेन केसेस के अंदर हमारे पास वाटर होता है। सो यू विल से कि भाई रिएक्टेंट जो सेकंड रिएक्टेंट है एक्सक्लूडिंग द वाटर उसके ऊपर रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन डिपेंड करेगा। क्या सब्सटेंस इन एक्सेस, डज द रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन डिपेंड ऑन सब्सटेंस इन एक्सेस? नो. Does it depend on substance that is in small amount, that is R in our case? Yes, it does depend. Does it depend on catalyst? हर रिएक्शन का कैटलिस्ट होता है तो नो। स्पेसिफिकली किया जाए तो मेथड ऑफ लार्ज एक्सेस के अंदर सब्सटेंस स्मॉल अमाउंट के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। क्वांटिटी ऑफ प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर कभी भी रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन डिपेंड नहीं करता, रिएक्टेंट्स के ऊपर करता है। सो द राइट ऑप्शन विल बी बी। Let's move on. Polymorphism is a feature exhibited by members of. तो polymorphism is basically something के हमारे पास एक फॉर्म को मल्टीपल फॉर्म्स के अंदर बदलने की सलाहियत हो। दैट इज बेसिकली सिलेंट्रेट्स और फाइलम नाइडेरिया, इनके पास ये कैपेबिलिटी होती है कि पोलीमॉर्फिज्म एग्जिबिट। तो our correct option will be A. भाई पोरिफेरा के अंदर तो आपके पास टिश्यू ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ही नहीं होती तो ये तो ऑप्शन हो ही नहीं सकता। पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म क्या, इसके फवायद क्या होते हैं? तो बेसिकली आपके पास कॉलोनी के अंदर फवायद आ जाते हैं इसके। सेकंड इसका आ जाता है फायदा कि आपके पास डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर आ जाती है एंड डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर से एक क्वेश्चन आराइज होता है कि क्या ह्यूमंस के पास ये पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म है। इसी हद तक हम लोग कह सकते हैं यस ह्यूमंस आल्सो डू हैव दिस पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म जिसके अंदर डिफरेंट टिश्यूज अपना अपना काम कर रहे हैं एंड डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स आर देयर। Gastrovascular cavity of traits perform following functions. So gastrovascular cavity is basically a multifunctional cavity. Gastro indicates basically our intestinal things and vascularization, etc. So digestion is also a part of gastrovascular cavity. Respiration means exchange of gases is also a part. Excretion is also done by this particular cavity. So the correct answer will be all of these. Let's find the odd one out. Now, books, pages, notes, and pens. Now, if we read all these in one go, we will find that all are related to one single thing, that is education. But now you have to find the odd one out. So, books are used to write, like you will write on the books, you will highlight, you will take notes on the books. Pages are something where you take notes, again something, some material where you will write on. Notes are again something like pages. All require pages, all are something where you will note down something. But pen is something odd. Pen is an instrument by which you will write. So this is one odd thing, that is an instrument by which you will write and not something that you will write on. ये एक ऐसी चीज है जिसकी मदद से आप लिखोगे, ये एक ऐसी चीज नहीं है जिसके ऊपर आप लिखोगे। तो बुक्स के ऊपर भी आप लिखते हो, पेजेस के ऊपर भी आप लिखते हो, नोट्स के ऊपर भी आप हाईलाइट वगैरह करते हो, लिखते हो, बट पेन्स आर समथिंग which you will use in order to write down something. Next MCQ states that the number of reacting molecules whose concentration changes during reaction is called, basically इसको molecularity भी कहते हैं। Basically this is order of reaction, इसको हम लोग molecularity भी दूसरा नाम दे देते हैं। हाँ, इसके अंदर I don't guess we need anything to explain. If the potential difference across the two plates of a parallel plate is double, then the energy stored will be. Now here, this is a good MCQ that may come in your MDCAT. आपके पास तीन फॉर्मूलाज आते हैं। एनर्जी इज इक्वल टू 1/2 CV square, which is also equal to you may say 1/2 C, yeah, Q square over 2C, I would say Q square over 2C. And here is another formula, 1 by 2 QV. All are the formulas for storing the energy inside between the two parallel plates of a capacitor. So which formula will you be using? Now if the potential difference across the parallel plate capacitor is doubled according to this formula, V square 4 times energy will become 4 times. Okay. Now, if you use the second formula, the energy is not doubling. Like we cannot even say that the energy stored in a parallel plate capacitor even depends on the potential difference. While this formula states that energy will become double, but here we would like to see that the charge is directly proportional to the potential. That is our formula, that is our law. So doubling the potential difference across a parallel plate capacitor will double the charge stored across the parallel plate capacitor. So if we use the first formula, we will see that our answer is 4 times. But if we are using second formula, then we will have to take help from this particular relation, which states that doubling the potential will indirectly double the charge. So this charge will also be doubled, and 2 ka square is 4. So this also states that answer is 4 times. Now doubling the potential will also lead to doubling the charge, which again states that our answer will be 4 times. 2 times 2 is 4 times, not 2x, it will be 4 times. So our energy stored is 4 times if we are using any single formula. So basically the best way is that use a formula where all other things are constant, such as this one, distance remains constant while potential difference is changing and not charge. So the correct answer will be C, that is 4 times. Okay, let's move on to our next one. The existence of a single species is more than two morphological forms, individual types is termed as. So we have already discussed this out, that this basically existence of a single species in more than one morphological form is polymorphism. A question arises from here is that, do humans have polymorphism? So yes, they do have polymorphism. How? We have different blood groups, like somebody will be having AB, somebody will be having O, somebody will be having A only, B only, A positive, B positive, and so we have a polymorphism in ABO blood group system. Mutagenesis, as the name muta suggests, it is related to mutations. Metagenesis is basically alternation of generations. You may have seen that in plants, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction alternate with each other. Let's move on. Molluscs are soft-bodied triploplastic animals. Most of them are protected by shell of calcium carbonate secreted by. So now there is a thing that I want to tell you guys, is that this, let's suppose this is your internal organ. What is this? This is your internal organ. Now this internal organ, not your but of mollusks. This internal organ is basically covered with a certain layer that is known as mantle. This layer is known as mantle. Now, this mantle is involved in secreting the shell, such as that you may see in a snail. Snail has a round shell. The shell is basically secreted by your mantle. So that is made of calcium carbonate and it basically provides protection. You might have seen a snail in the cartoons and somewhere else. Let MCQ states that a hollow sphere of copper is positively charged, then the electric field inside the sphere is. So remember guys that if a sphere is charged on the outside, whether positive, whether negative, it has no influence on the inside and there will be no electric field, no charge on the inside of the sphere. So because the sphere is round and it is covered from all the sides, so there will be no charge, no electric field on the inside. So it will not be same, it will not be less, it will not be greater, but it will be zero. So delta is the right option. Why all the following reactions are really slow? So neutralization reactions are generally fast, displacement reactions are also fast, organic substitution reaction and free radical reactions, if we compare these both, so free radical reactions are the slowest reaction. Now the free radical reactions are the slowest reaction. So our correct option will be delta. Skills in reading, communication, and mathematics play an important role in developing a career as a desktop publisher. So, yes, that's definitely true that if you want to pursue your career as a desktop publisher, you need to have the basic knowledge of mathematics as well as reading communication. So, the right answer will be definitely true. In order to solve these kinds of MCQ, you need to have lots of practice, and practice is the only thing that is gonna make a difference because nothing else is there. Like only and only you need, what you need is some practice, and for practice you need to do lots of MCQs, and then you will be able to identify whether the statement is definitely true or definitely false or insufficient data. Practice is the main thing in logical reasoning MCQs. Next, I'm thinking asexual reproduction is more common in Nigerians. Yes, it is more common in Nigerians. It is performed by now. It is not inquiring about the most common asexual method in Nigerians. If any question inquires about the most common method that is happening in Nigerians, then it is budding. But it is inquiring that by what means does the asexual reproduction in Nigerians is performed. So it may be performed by regeneration, rarely by fragmentation. Budding is the most common method of asexual reproduction. So all of these will be the right answer. That is your D option. Supply the correct synonym for the capitalized word. The new government brought stupendous changes in the economy and its critics. So as you may see that the new government brought stupendous changes. This stupendous word is basically explaining these changes. It is basically trying to explain these changes. So let's come towards our options. Is fooled changes right? No. Involved changes right? No. Destroyed changes? Yeah, it is a vague answer, so no. Surprise changes, the changes which surprise the people of the community. So stupendous may lead to a meaning that is surprise, and it is the right answer indeed. Basically I wanted you to identify the meaning. If you even don't know the word, if you even haven't even seen the word before, you may lead the correct answer if you see what the word is actually grammatically. So here it is basically an adjective or an adverb. So basically an adjective because it is defining the word changes. So here destroyed is a verb, fooled is a verb, involved is a verb, but surprise basically explains the word changes. So that's why I would say okay, change surprise is the right answer. Next MCQ states that two charges separated by a distance of 4 meters, the force between them is 4 Newton. What is the force between the charges when the distance between them is 1 meter? So as you know by a Coulomb's law, what by a Coulomb's law that F yani force is inversely proportional to distance squared. Now let's suppose this is F1 your initial force, this is R1 your initial distance. Now F2 will also be inversely proportional to R2 square. That's perfect. Now dividing these equations. Now what's the value of F1? F1 is 4 Newton, R1 is 4 meter, F2 is something that I need to find out, and R2 is something that is given, that is the reduced distance, that is 1 meter. Okay. Now dividing these equations, I will get F1 divided by F2 leads to is equal to R2 whole square divided by R1 whole square. Now what's the value of F1 for? F2 is to be find out F. Now what is the value of R2? It's 1 squared. What is the value of R1? It's 4 squared. Okay. Now let's cross multiply the things so that the things may get easier for us. So 4 times, now what's 4 square? It's 16. 16 is equal to F2. So basically 4 times 16 is 64. So you have got your right answer, that is 64 newtons. That's your perfect Charlie option. If anybody faces any kind of confusion, you may ask us right away in our comment section or whatsoever. Let's move on. The reaction rate in forward direction decreases with the passage of time, because so if two reactants are reacting together with each other in order to form a certain product C, so basically as the reaction proceeds, the concentration of the reactants decreases while the concentration of the product increases. Due to this decrease in concentration of reactants, the rate of reaction in forward direction decreases. So the concentration of reactant decreases. That is our best option. Concentration of product decreases. No, it is basically increasing. As you may see, it is increasing. The order of reaction changes. No, it is a constant thing. Temperature of the system, wake. So our correct option will be A. That is alpha. That is concentration of reactant decreases. Capacitor with air as the dielectric is charged to a potential of 100 volt. Okay, now the dielectric constant for air is 1.000006. 1.00 or 0006, yeah, which is almost equal to 1. Okay, and the potential that is provided when air was placed in between was 100 volts. Okay. If the space between the plate is now filled with a dielectric of dielectric constant 10, now the dielectric constant is 10, the potential difference. So as you may see that there is no sign where this question states that battery is connected with the capacitor. If the battery was connected with the capacitor, the potential shall remain constant, that is 100 volts. But due to the disconnected battery, the charges shall remain constant. The charges on the plates of the capacitor shall remain constant. This remains constant. But due to this increase in dielectric constant, this capacitance will increase, and in order to make these charges constant, the voltage will decrease. Or indirectly, if this is constant in this equation, capacitance will become inversely proportional to voltage. Now, how do I know that the capacitance is increasing? So basically you have a formula for capacitance. C is equal to A epsilon naught epsilon R by D. So basically this is explaining that if the dielectric constant epsilon R is increasing, then the capacitance will also be increasing. How much capacitance has increased? So if the dielectric constant has increased by 10, so the capacitance will also increase by 10 times. This has become 10 times, so the capacitance will also become 10 times. And if this capacitance has become 10 times, this voltage will also decrease by 10 times. So initially the voltage was 100. There you may go 100. So after decreasing 10 times, the correct answer will be 10 volts. That is your Charlie option. I hope everyone is clear regarding this MCQ. Let's move on. Now again you have been given the capacitance. If a 10 farad capacitor is to have an energy, now there you may go, you have the energy. It must be placed across a potential difference. So what is the potential? You need to find out the potential. So energy is equal to 1 over 2 CV square. So energy will be equal to 1 over, sorry, energy, you have been given the energy 20 joules. Let me put out the value. 1 by 2, what's the capacitance? It is 10, and V square, potential square, is to be found out. Now what is 1 by 2 multiplied by 10? It's 5. 5 V square, and what is it equal to? 20. Now 5, here it goes to the left side and gets divided because here it is getting multiplied. 20 by 5, you get 4 is equal to V square. Taking square root on both these sides, you will get your answer, that is 2. So 2 volts is the right answer. That is again your Charlie option. I hope everyone is clear. The lower jaw is composed of only one large bone. In okay, so the correct answer will be mammals. Let me explain it a little bit further so that any other type of MCQ coming such will be cleared by you. Let's suppose these are the lips of someone, not me, not you, but somebody else. These are the lips. This is your nose, not yours, of course, somebody else. This is the nose, and this is your something, you may say, where the mustache is. So this is your upper jaw, this is your lower jaw. This lower jaw bone is known as mandible. What is it known as? It is known as mandible. The upper jaw bone is known as maxilla. What is it known as? Maxilla. You may memorize it easily. Maximum maxilla is upward while mandible is lower. Now this maxilla is also a single bone, but it gets fused when we are in embryo stage. So one bone comes from the left, one bone comes from the right, and they get fused in between, making it a single, looking like a single bone. Now, in some kids at embryological stage, this fusion does not happen. If this fusion is not happening, the disease name is known as cleft palate. Well, it is a little bit detailed, but do search, do try to search this disease out. The name is cleft palate. Now, what happens is that the hard palate and the soft palate that is located in your oral cavity, right over here, this does not forms correctly, this does not close correctly. So when the baby is swallowing any kind of food, it basically moves towards your nasal cavity and gets out from here and does not gets into your esophagus. It is a very rare condition, but it does exist, and the maxilla bones does not fuse together, but cleft palate is there, and the baby cannot swallow food properly. Even he or she cannot drink milk, the mother's milk. So it's a great problem. Identify the correct passive form from the sentence given below. The car did not open the gate. So as you know that did not indicates past tense. So we shall remain in past tense. The gate was not opened by the guard. Now why not Charlie? The gate was not being, this being should not be here. The gate had, don't go for past perfect. The gate did not. Did not is used in active form. Active. So this is also wrong. These three options are wrong. Again, find the odd one out. Fluorine, chlorine, and bromine belong to group 7, that is halogens, while zinc is something that belongs to transition elements, so it is the odd one out. Charlie option is correct. This is a transition element, not halogen. Which system is more developed in age telomeres? So, organisms that do not have coelom or body cavity have a digestive system as a more developed system in them. Not expiratory, not respiratory, not osmoregulatory. After changing the capacitor, battery is disconnect. After charging a capacitor, sorry, battery is disconnected. Now the battery is disconnected, so the voltage cannot remain constant, and the dielectric slab is placed between the capacitor plates. Then the energy stored in it will be. So basically, energy stored depends upon, yeah, 1 by 2 QV. Now this is the basic formula. Now the voltage decreases due to the placement of the slab, but this charge remains constant. This charge remains constant. This is also a constant. So decreasing the voltage, the energy stored in the capacitor will also decrease. So beta will be the right answer. What is the effect of decrease in reactant concentration on product concentration? If you basically decrease the reactant concentration, the product concentration automatically decreases. Because if there is no reactant to react, there will be no product formed. Alpha option. One of materials listed below is to be placed between two identical metal sheets with no air gap to form a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, we need to make a parallel plate capacitor which produces the greatest capacitance. Now, in order to produce the greatest capacitance, you need to have the number of the dielectric constant to be higher and higher. Why? Because C is equal to A epsilon naught epsilon R by D. Now, the greater the epsilon r, the greater will be the capacitance. So D option will be the right dielectric constant of 11, and this will have the minimum capacitance dielectric constant of 2. Okay, here comes a difficult question, or I would say a tricky question. What to do? We have to solve everything. Okay. So, from amongst five doctors, who are five doctors? A, B, C, D, E. Let me write them down. A, B, C, D, E. These are what? These are doctors. These are doctors. These are doctors. Okay. For engineers, GHKL. So GHKL are engineers. GHK and then L are engineers. Let me write them down. E for engineers and six teachers. Here this is written six teachers. MNOPQR. Oh my god, six teachers. MNOPQR. Six teachers are there. T for teachers. Okay. Some teams have to be selected of these A, B. Okay, A, B, G, H. Okay, G, H and O, P, Q are females. Okay, O, P, Q, A, B, G, H are females. They are not males. And rest are males. Formation of team is subjected to the following condition. Okay, what is the condition of the team formation? Wherever there is a male doctor, okay, C, D, E, wherever there will be a male doctor, there will be no female teacher. Okay, female teachers, single line, underline, and male doctors cannot go together. Male doctors and female teachers cannot go together. Okay, next condition is that wherever there is a male engineer, okay, male engineer, let's double underline. Wherever there is a male engineer, there shall be no female doctor. Okay, female doctor will not be there whenever there is a male engineer. Okay. There shall be no more than two male teachers in any team. Okay, no more than two male teachers in any team. If the team consists of two doctors, three female teachers, two engineers, the members of the team are. Okay, now, first of all, the condition is that you need to have three female teachers. Pick the female teachers out, so they are OPQ. Let me write them down. OPQ are confirmed. Now, OPQ is single underline. That means CDE cannot be there. CDE are omitted basically. Why? Because there was the first condition that wherever there is a male doctor, there will be no female teacher. So we have got three female teachers, so we cannot put male doctors into our category. We cannot make male doctors come in. Okay. Now the team consists of two doctors. What two doctors? A, B. Because male doctors cannot come in, only female doctors can come in. So A, B will be there. And what's the last thing that they are asking? Now this is AB is double underline. This KL is also double underline. So AB and KL cannot come together. So the rest remains GH. We can have only two engineers maximum that is GH, and we also need two engineers. So A, B, G, H, O, P, Q will be the right answer. Let's see if we have any option. Yes, we have this alpha option A, B, G, H, O, P, Q. So what will be the right answer? The right answer will be alpha. Okay, perfect. Let's move on. If anybody has any confusion, feel free to ask in the comment section or WhatsApp me directly. 75% of first order reaction was completed in 32 minutes, 50% of the reaction was completed. So if the reactant was 100% initially, then it must have moved to 50%, and in the same time period it must have moved towards the 25%. 25%. So the net total time is 32 minutes. What is it? 32 minutes. So for each step I will have 16 minutes, 16 minutes. So I must have 16 minutes for each step, and my correct answer will be alpha. Let's move on. Two small charge objects attract each other with a force F when separated by a distance d. If the charge on each object is reduced to 1/4 and the distance between them is reduced to d by 2, then what will happen? So basically one charge has been, the charge on each object has been reduced to 1/4. The charge has been reduced to 1/4. Let's see, F is equal to K Q by 4 multiplied by Q by 4, and the distance has been reduced by 2, so d by 2. This is the denominator of the denominator, so it will move towards the numerator, or I can do cancellation right from here. So I will get my answer is F is equal to K Q square by 4 2s are 8d. So the correct answer will be F over 8, that is my alpha option. Let's move on towards next MCQ. Reaction is found to be second order with respect to B. If B is doubled, then keeping every other thing constant, the rate of reaction will. Now the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the B concentration of B squared. So if I double the concentration of B, so what I will get is the rate of the reaction will be getting 4 times. Will be getting 4 times. Okay, so with this, there comes your 4. That is your answer. That is your beta option. Let's move on towards next MCQ. Value of a potential at a point due to a point charge is. So value of a potential at a point due to a point charge is, you know that the formula is V is equal to KQ by R. Inversely proportional to the square of distance? No, it is inversely proportional to only distance. Directly proportional to the square of distance? Wrong. Inversely proportional to the distance? Correct. Directly proportional to the distance? Wrong. So the correct option will be Charlie. All you have to memorize is the formula in this. Activation energy of a reaction. Exclude the average kinetic energy? No, it includes the average kinetic energy. Is in addition to the total kinetic energy of the reactants? No, it is in addition of every single energy that is present in the reactants. Is in addition to the average kinetic energy of the products? No, not of products. It is in addition of energy of the reactants. Is needed for effective collisions? Yes, it is needed for the basic effective collisions for a reaction to occur. An animal found from ocean was observed to have no tissue organization. As discussed earlier, Porifera has no tissue organization, and we do not need to discuss it further. Snails are the intermediate host. So this is basically liver fluke disease in which snails are the intermediate host. Basically, this organism affects your snail first. This organism or infective agent basically goes to snail first, infects the snail, and then from snail this disease is transferred to humans. Now the second one is blood fluke, cystoma. Blood fluke. Again, it has its intermediate host as a snail, but not mostly. It has other methods of transmission. Do so, but liver fluke has only transmission method of snail. So liver fluke will be the right answer. This is, I guess, tapeworm. This is, I guess, the direct host is it's human. It has no, I would say, intermediate host. It is hookworm, and it loves to sit in your small intestine in the duodenum. It is not an importance of coral reef. So coral reef is basically an underground water plant. Underground water plant. It provides ecosystem to marine life. Yes, I told you it is an underground water plant, so it will be providing this. Use and ornaments. Ornaments is something that you use for your decoration pieces in your drawing room. So it may not be used as an ornament. You know, it's an underground water plant. How can you use it as an ornament? Provide breeding habitat for fishes. Yes, it is living underwater and it is behaving as a breeding habitat. Used as a sound absorber. Yes, it is being used as a sound absorber. Which of the following are pseudocoelomates? So pseudocoelomate, ascalminthes are the pseudocoelomates. No further discussion, I guess. The central nervous system of chordates is it is basically located dorsally. So not ventrally, not laterally it is, but dorsally. Delta will be the right answer. I don't think so. I need to explain further. Dorsal means that it is located on the posterior side, on the back side. It basically consists of brain and spinal cord both, and it is hollow. Platyhelminthes are bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic. That's the symmetry of platyhelminthes. I don't think so. Anything is to be explained in kingdom Animalia, so beta will be the right answer. Law of mass action expresses relationship between. So law of mass action basically expresses the relationship between rate of reaction, rate and reactants of the basically reaction, and the concentration of products of reaction. All three are involved. So let's start from a concentration of reactant and catalyst. No, no catalyst is involved. Concentration of reactants and concentration of products. Where is the rate of reaction? So this is also wrong. The rate of reaction and concentration of products. Where is the concentration of reactants? So this is also wrong. Rate of reaction and concentration of reacting substances, whether products, whether reactants. Reacting substance includes both. So this will be our best choice option alpha. This includes all three. Rate of which reaction increases with temperature. So it is not indicating that whether the temperature is increasing or whether the temperature is decreasing. If you are increasing the temperature, then the endothermic reaction rate will be increased. And if you are basically decreasing the temperature, then exothermic rate of reaction will be increasing. How can I identify it? Basically, exit. So product may heat आएगी. Product will be the heat. The product will be the heat. So indirectly, if you are decreasing the product, decreasing the heat, decreasing the product, so you will be making the reaction come in forward direction. You will be making the reaction come in forward direction, and endo goes the opposite. So decreasing the product, you will get the rate of reaction more in forward direction. That's the best thing, I guess. Exo means exit, heat is exiting. The rate of change of electric potential with respect to distance is known as. And now, whenever there is a distance with respect to distance, it is known as gradient. What is it known as? Gradient. Now, whenever there is a rate, or rate basically indicates time. If there is no distance and there is time, then you will go with rate. Time, rate of change of thing, yeah, any concentration with time is known as rate, and rate of change of anything with respect to distance is known as gradient. So where is the gradient? Here is the gradient. So this is your Charlie option. The slope of concentration time graphs gives us. Slope means deviance. So concentration of whether of products, whether of reactants divided by time. Does it give concentration of reactants? No, it gives concentration of reactants divided by time. Amount of catalyst? No. Concentration of products? No. Rate of reaction? Yes. Concentration of reactants that is reacting in certain time will give you the rate of reaction. So delta will be the right answer. Supply the correct form of verb. Now we had taken our meal before we. Now this is past perfect. This is what past perfect, and past perfect is always added with simple past tense. Past perfect is always added with simple past tense. So we had taken our meal before we left. Charlie will be the right answer. Not past perfect had left. Not sorry, present perfect, that is have left. Not in continuous past continuous. Only and only simple past, that is left. When two charges are equal charge, each force exert on each other is F. Now, if two charges of equal magnitude exert a force F, when one of the charges is double 2Q, then if this 2Q exerts a force of 2F on charge Q. Okay, the force exerted by Q on 2Q is, remember, the force applied by the larger charge on the smaller charge and the force applied by the smaller charge on the larger charge are always equal, because the force is the product of both these charges. Force is the product of both these charges. So it does not matter if the smaller charge is applying the force, or it does not matter if the larger charge is applying the force. Here comes another MCQ. There you go with your earth. This is your earth. Now here you are standing. Now is the earth applying a greater force on you, or you applying a greater force on the earth? So you both are applying same force on the earth, and earth is attracting you with an equal force. You are attracting the earth with an equal force, while the earth is also attracting you with an equal force. So if the 2Q charge is exerting a force of 2F, then the Q charge will also exert a force of 2F on 2Q. Same force will be applied. Same. Oxidation reduction reactions are generally slower than ionic reaction. This is the just easy MCQ, nothing to explain. Ascaricia is one of the following. Ascaria basically loves to live in your intestine. It loves to live in your intestine, and intestine is basically internally located. So it is an internal parasite. It is an internal parasite. A will be your right answer. Supply the correct form of verb. Had I known the answer, I would have written it. Again, a grammatical rule, you will have to read the grammar rules in order to solve these MCQs correctly. I would have written it. Supply the correct preposition. Have you been in this company? Now, since is basically used for the start position. Since is basically used for the start position. Since 6 a.m. सुबह के 6 बजे से मैं काम करूँ. Since Monday, मैं Monday से लगा हूँ उसके ऊपर. Since last year, मैं last year से मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. Since 2014, since you may say Monday, since Tuesday, since January. January is the starting point. Now, for is basically used for determining the time period for 6 months, for 6 weeks, for 6 months, for 2 minutes, for an hour. So basically, this is identifying the time period कि अभी कितना टाइम हो चुका है इस काम को करते हुए आपको. So here, have you been in this company for 6 weeks? Why? Because it is basically telling us the time period and not the starting point, you know. 4 will be the correct answer. That is your B. Sponges have special mobile cells that are known as amoebocytes. Simple. A and B are 2 points in an electric field if the work done in moving a charge of 4 coulomb of electric charge from A to B is 16 joules, the potential difference. So the potential difference is basically work done per unit charge. Work done is 16 and charge is of 4 coulomb. So the potential will be 4 volts. Charlie will be your correct answer. Your reckless behavior is not acceptable. You have to be more. Now, reckless, the opposite of reckless is careful. You're reckless. You're such behavior. You're
bad behavior is not acceptable. You have to be more careful, not happy, not hardworking, not kind, only and only careful. You have to be more careful. Thank you so much. This completes our whole test of 50 MCQs. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and we will be meeting you in another Sunday's test discussion. See you soon. Bye bye. If you feel any difficulty in any MCQ, feel free to contact us on our WhatsApp or on our comment section. Till then, Allah Hafiz.